What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned. As you guys already know, this is the show where we go through all the major talking points of the last Chelsea game. And it wasn't going to be too long until our winning run came to an end. But it's just the manner that we dropped our points yesterday. 2-2 against Everton. We dropped the lead twice. And it was just pathetic. It was so pathetic. As soon as we get into some sort of winning position, we throw it right back in the faces of the fans with the substitutions, with just the weak mentality, the weak setup. Just overall, it's just weak. It's just lethargic. It's just draining. And it's like we take one step forwards and we're moonwalking right back into a worse position than we were at before. And it's a shame because until the goal, I actually thought we were doing all right. Yeah, we weren't scoring, but Everton were naturally going to make it hard for us. And I thought we were still knocking on the door and making chances. And it was like a goal was going to come. And after the first goal, if we stuck to the way that we were playing, probably would have scored more. But I'll get into that later on into the video. But we just came into that with completely the wrong mentality. And we just threw the game completely out of our own hands. It was just dreadful. But we're going to delve into all of it in today's video. So hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Don't forget to, like, subscribe, check out my personal channel, all of that. Sorry, guys, my head is just gone. Just still fuming over this result. But yeah, let's get into it. So 2-2. First half, no goals. Started all right. Wasn't really making the right decisions in the final third. But again, Everton were making it naturally hard for us. But we got a goal in the second half of João Felix. Nice ball from Enzo. I think it came off an Everton player back to Felix. And he hits it into the back of the net for 1-0. And at that point, we're cruising. I feel like this is just going to be the start of more goals. Now the game should open up a little bit more. Nope. What do? We give Everton all the impetus that they need to go forward because we just make defensive as fuck substitutions. We don't bring on the likes of Mudryk. We don't bring on the likes of Madueke. We just decide to bring on Gallagher and Ruben. And Fofana, I won't make a big deal about him coming off and Chalobah coming on because Fofana was injured and he was seen with an ice pack on his knee after the game. So that's understandable. But the fact that we didn't try to keep playing the way that we were and we just thought, right, we've got one goal, let's hold back. This is my problem, and it's the first point. Potter's game management, yet again, is holding us back. Yet again. Now, I understand playing the 5 at the back. I've got no issues with that. Have a strong defensive base to build off. But we don't have to take all of our creators off as soon as we go 1-0 up. We don't need to completely just sit back and hold the lead against anybody. Do that against teams that are better than us. Do that against your Madrids, even Brighton, Brentford, Liverpool's, the games that we have coming up. That's understandable. Not Everton. Not Everton, who are fighting relegation, who are lower than us in the league. We don't have to be playing in that way. That's my problem. Because realistically, if we kept playing the way that we were after the first goal, we're going to score more goals. Because Everton now have to come out. They now have to try and play for something. They have to go out and get a goal. That leaves more space exposed in behind for us to try and capitalise on. We would likely get more goals if the next substitutes were Mudryk and Madueke instead of Gallagher and Ruben. But poor game management from Potter again. He's just turned away from the attacking mindset that he once showed at Brighton, and now it's just defending, inshallah. And it's like, I get it depending on the opposition, depending on the position that the club's in. Leeds, I even understood you playing defensive against Leeds because that was our first win in God knows how long. And you know what? Just conserve everything that we have because there's not a lot of confidence in the side at that point. Not now that we're on 3 wins on the bounce. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It's just sloppy game management from Potter. Weak-minded, mid-table mentality, and it breeds mid-table results. And that's why we dropped our points today. It was just poor from him. And it infested himself into the rest of the squad. But even then, individuals do still have to be held accountable. And we need to start with Kepa. I've said it a couple times this season, I'll say it again. This guy cannot be our number one next season. He's having a great season by his standards, fair play to him. He should not be our number one for where we want to be in the Premier League, which is at the top. Kepa is not a title-winning goalkeeper. Simple as. He's got too many errors in his game. He flaps at crosses. His wrists are still weak as hell. The top corners, he hasn't been exposed too much on this season, but I believe it'll be a matter of time before that comes and rears its ugly head again. But it's just not been good enough from him yesterday. That second goal from Sims, he should have had a much stronger hand to. Much stronger hand to. And it's these little mistakes that are the difference between a title-winning goalkeeper and just your any-man goalkeeper. And that's what Kepa is. I don't mind him being a number 2. I'm fine with that. What you see is what you get with your number 2s, as I've always said. But as a starter, no. No. Get me a goalkeeper in the summer. Kepa is not it. He's not good enough. Third point, Koulibaly. Just when I think this guy's turned the corner. Just bozo moments again and again and again and again and again. And it's tiring trying to be patient for this when I see younger centre-backs like Fofana, like Badiashile come in and they are so much more composed than a 31-year-old, a veteran. This is the frustrating part because I'll speak about giving Koulibaly time and everything, saying he needs time to adapt, but you don't need time when you're playing a prospect called, I don't know what his first name was, but Sims. You gotta be standing your ground better. And that wasn't the only mistake. He was making errors before that goal. Him and Fofana had poor communication for the first goal that we conceded. And it just wasn't good enough. And it's the same thing in most games of Koulibaly. He's been good the last few games, but it's right back to square one again. Right back to square one. He's our 5th choice centre-back. He has to be. Because Chalobah will give me more consistent performances. Badiashile will. Fofana will. And we all know about Thiago Silva. I don't even need to say it with him. Koulibaly is getting to a stage where it just might not be good enough for us. He just might not be good enough because the further back you go in the pitch, I always say this, the less room there is for error. As a goalkeeper, you need to be near flawless every 90 minutes. That's why Kepa isn't good enough. At the back, you can't be making consistent mistakes in game. That's why right now Koulibaly isn't good enough. It's just, we need to figure out who's good enough for us going forward and who isn't. And right now it's looking like Koulibaly, it's looking like Kepa. Even going forward, we weren't great. Pulisic had his moments, but that was about it. But it was his first start, so I won't say too much. Havertz went straight back to being invisible again. I don't care about the penalty. He did nothing for 90 minutes. Felix, to be fair, 4th point. A little bit of a bright spark. I thought his finishing decision-making wasn't great in the first half. But his take-ons, his movement, his positioning, his dribbles, passing, I thought were all very good. Very good. And it was a slight positive on that performance. Felix we need to keep. For competition with Nkunku and potentially Havertz if he stays here, I think he improves our depth as a whole and it gives us multiple great options to look forward to next season. I hope we keep him. But yeah, Felix is a bit more of a positive. Final point is we cannot keep throwing games like this because, again, this is the winnable run. We are going into April now. We're not even at 40 points. And we're in April. That is embarrassing. And the fixtures are only getting harder from here. Villa we should get a result at. Then it's Liverpool. Wolves away should get a result. Then it's Madrid, Brighton, Madrid again, United, Brentford, Arsenal away, City away, Newcastle at home. It's not a pretty end to the season. And we can't even get points now. So God knows what we're going to do when it comes to April. Because April was bad enough before we slapped 2 Madrid fixtures in there. It's looking long. It's looking really long for us. But strap up. Long end to the season, people. Gonna end the video here now anyway, though. Big up everybody that's locked in. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and as always, up the Chelsea.